Hello, my fellow warriors and friends. Welcome to the Diary of a Fibro Warrior. This is the podcast where we turn pain into power, isolation into connection. I'm Chiko, your host, diagnosed in 2016. Whether you're listening to this from your bed, sofa, or from that tiny pocket of energy you've managed to gather today, I see you, I honor you, and I am so glad you're here. Today's podcast, Understanding of Fibromyalgia and ME/CFS is shifting in 2026, is one that I've been waiting for in terms of updates over the years because something is happening, something many of us never thought we'd witness in our lifetime. The world is beginning to understand. For decades, people with fibromyalgia, ME, and CFS have been dismissed, doubted, or told it was just stress. But 2026 is different and appears to be shifting. The conversation is shifting, the research is evolving, and the lived experience of millions are finally being taken seriously. We are being taken seriously. This isn't a miracle cure or a flashy headline. It's something quieter, deeper, and long overdue. Most of us have been looking for validation, recognition, and visibility. So now I want to share with you the 9 key insights shaping 2026 moving forward and beyond. I'm optimistic for a better future. For decades, millions of us have lived with symptoms that were dismissed, minimized, or misunderstood. But this year, the narrative is shifting, as I've highlighted before. Researchers, institutions, and global organizations are finally catching up to what we've known in our bodies for years. And here are the 9 essential insights. Starting off with biological validation. The biggest shift of all is fibromyalgia, ME, and CFS are increasingly being recognized as biological conditions, not psychological ones. Researchers are identifying measurable patterns in the body, finally ending the outdated fatigue stereotype and validating the depth of our symptoms. Then the second one, ion channel dysfunction. 2026 research highlights abnormalities in how ion channels function in CFS cells. These tiny channels help cells communicate and regulate energy. When they malfunction, the body struggles to produce and use energy efficiently, something every warrior feels daily. And energy is a key one for all of us and something that most of us feel deprived of on a continuous basis. Then moving on into number 3, a near-accurate diagnostic blood test. A UK research team has reported a blood test showing high accuracy in identifying ME/CFS patterns. It's not a cure, but it represents hope for faster, kinder diagnosis in the future and a shift away from years of dismissal. And this is something all of us, I can imagine, want not to be dismissed and to be taken seriously. And into the 4th one, energy metabolism and immune dysfunction. Australian researchers continue to document abnormalities in energy production, immune system patterns, and vascular function. These findings help explain why even small tasks can trigger overwhelming crashes. And another one that's familiar, post-exertional malaise. When you are feeling like you can do all sorts of tasks, then all of a sudden you have this overwhelming crashes. Moving on to long-COVID overlap, which is not surprising. The Rosetta Stone project highlights shared biological patterns between ME, CFS, and long-COVID. This overlap is helping the world understand post-viral illness that was ignored for decades. For many of us, this is the validation we've waited for years. And if you've had long COVID as a warrior, you can also recognize that it's something that can be overwhelming in terms of experiencing flare-ups. And if you haven't been diagnosed with ME and CFS, at least hopefully you can also recognize what it feels like to live with ME and CFS. I wouldn't wish any of these conditions on anyone, including the post-viral illnesses such as long COVID. Then moving on into 6, breathing abnormalities. New findings show hidden breathing dysfunction in many people with ME/CFS, including shallow breathing, irregular patterns, and difficulty regulating breath during activity. This helps explain chest tightness, dizziness, and the air hunger many warriors experience. This may resonate with you. The image that I had in my mind of walking up an incline and experiencing a shortness of breath, this one resonates with me so much. And you may also have experienced other signs and symptoms where you think something is not quite right, irregular breathing patterns and all that. So this, again, is also making sense that it's not all in our head. At least you can rest assured that it's some symptom of fibromyalgia, ME/CFS. Moving on to number 7, fibromyalgia links. Research continues to show shared biological threads across ME/CFS, fibromyalgia, and oFor syndrome. These include oxidate stress and muscle energy disruption, reinforcing that these conditions are deeply physical and not all in our head, and that's so essential to be believed. Moving on into number 9, swiftly, global research momentum. Governments and research bodies, especially in the UK, are increasing funding, attention, and support for ME/CFS. Woohoo! Some excitement there. This marks a turning point after decades of neglect. It's slow, but it's happening. The big picture, this is number 9, the final one, and which is quite key. Your symptoms are real, fellow warrior, and it's not all in your head. All of these insights turn to one truth. Your symptoms are real, measurable, and biologically grounded. Your body has been telling the truth all along, and now finally the world is beginning to listen. To summarize, what does this all mean for us? This isn't the end of the journey, but it's a turning point. A moment where the world pauses and says, we should have listened, we should continue to listen, and then invest more into research in order to help as chronic illness warriors or patients to continue healing. For every warrior who has fought to be believed, this moment belongs to you. And one that I'd like to also highlight that's essential is that the information that I've shared is on educational basis for your information, and it's not offering a cure, but it's offering insight into the development of what's happening that could also help ease our conditions and also help with when you are looking for a diagnosis. This shift didn't happen by accident. It's happened because we have been speaking up, sharing our stories, and refuse to be silenced. Our voices matter more than ever. So I encourage you to continue raising further awareness. I would love to hear from you as well. Here are 2 key questions for you. Which of these insights resonates most with your experience? What changes have you noticed in how your symptoms are understood? Drop a comment below on whichever platform you are connecting with. I'd love to hear from you. This podcast mainly is on Substack, and if you'd like to stay connected and receive more gentle, research-backed reflections directly in your inbox, you can subscribe to my, do subscribe to my Substack, The Diary of Fiber Warrior. We're in this together with continued hope and solidarity. And on my Substack, I've also shared organizations and resources that are involved into contributing to the evolving understanding of fibromyalgia, ME, and CFS, which you'll find below my blog post. As per usual, and a closing note to you, to every fiber warrior listening to this. Your body has been telling you the truth all along, and now slowly but surely, the world is listening, is beginning to listen. Thank you for being here with me and for surviving what most people will never understand, and for continuing to persevere through, although it's not easy, with love from me. And I'd like to also thank any listener and continued listeners for joining me on this podcast. Until next time, ciao for me for now.